No. Higher up here. Go the right direction. And you make these marks. Go the right direction. I know you all came here for my impressions. I even had the song for my video editing ready to rock. Did, 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 did. Rising up. Get that golden glow happening. Got that golden Adonis glow. sometimes with like blurry images, like my reference photo is it's blurry, and so things are, when you like zoom in, they're not focused, and it's like a confusing batch of pixels, basically. You kind of guesstimate, and you start to trust your intuition. Like, you know, you put it down, and if it's not right, you just move it around a little bit. But I think it's better to try to put something in there and see how it works. Even if it doesn't look right, you can play from that. I'm also still in the stage of like, I just want some paint on here, because we went from acrylics to oils, and so I'm slowly just covering the whole painting, or the whole face, in oil paint. So it's okay if things aren't quite there yet. Just getting paint on the canvas. Because of the shape of the head too, and the shape of the face, I let myself have a little more freedom with the some of the features. I don't care if they're proportionate, but I do care if they look good. As always, that's kind of one of my golden rules. I don't care if it's accurate or proportionate, as long as it looks good. Like if that's not quite his nose, I'm fine with that. But it has to look good, meaning that like, it has to be sly. I'll show you also what I do. So every time I clean my brush, this is my blending dry brush. You gotta dry it off. I'm just working it around. Again, doesn't have to be just getting paint on. So I don't like, I just need some paint there, so when I come back to it, there's paint already existing, and it gives me something to manipulate and work with, so I have a foundation. Everybody, I see you there, but I can't look at you. The camera's far away today, so I can't even see it. But I appreciate you guys. So here I'm just exaggerating, making it up as I go because I have no idea what this would really look like. This kind of fat cheek here, big old chipmunk cheeks. But I'm at a point in the day and the stages where I need paint on here to work with. I just need it. So get it on there. Same thing. I clean this off, but dry it off. Just gonna pat it. Get that paint in there. We'll fix up certain things as you go along, but just I'll say it one more time. You just got to get some paint on here because I need to be able to manipulate something, so you need paint on there. So go around the whole piece. I'm aware of the creases in his face, but it's not vital yet. You're just like literally putting the skin on, and then you'll fit it accordingly in a moment, but not yet. Just get the paint on there. I am aware that like these colors are a little brighter than on this side, so I grab some red, peach. There's a little red over here. Get that paint in there. Come back. I'm obviously doing it slowly and like methodically, so I'm thinking about what I'm doing. I'm not just covering the whole thing, clearly, but I'm not as concerned with how things look as much as I am concerned with just getting a base. And again, so I'll be able to work with it momentarily. And I want everything to be quite diffused. The eyes are a little bit of a different story, but I'm not trying to make any sort of sharp lines. It can be a little more delicate around the eyes and be aware of the shapes. There's a shape here. There's a shape here. So I'm aware of the shapes. Slowly guiding things into place. But I'm more concerned that there's paint everywhere. That's my first priority. I'm getting there. Let's see if there's anywhere else. Because I'll go back into kind of the fine-tuning mode very soon. But I just noticed I had a few spots where I was kind of like blending into, into nothing, because there just wasn't any paint. There wasn't enough paint. So let's take care of that now. Okay. I am concerned with my values. I don't want anything too far away from, like, too bright, too dark. But if I had to choose, even if it was wrong, I'd still rather paint. I'd rather have paint on the canvas than not. So if it's wrong, the wrong value, it's fine. You see, I don't even have paint on the brush right now. I'm using what I was just doing. And that's what I noticed before. I didn't have enough paint to do that. And so that just means I need to put more on there so I can work with it. I'm saying I probably got 90% of this covered now. So every time I touch it, I'm working with something that's already, I'm working with something. It's not, there's actually like a mixture happening, a blend, an actual blend. You also want very delicate brushes when you're kind of painting like this. There's different reasons for that, but I don't want to stir up what's underneath here. So your brush wants to, certain brushes will pull deeply, and that causes a problem. That can be even stressful. I want to always be adding, not like pulling out layers from underneath. That's it. That's it. That's there. Now I'm like fine tuning. My brain has switched over. Now I'm looking at details and trying to get them right. This is the brightest I've gone so far in the piece, so. These are all kind of mid-tones, mid-values, hovering around like the middle. Now we're going significantly brighter. Be selective. Not everything is this value. Okay. And if it looks too bright, go back down to your color underneath. Start working with that again. It's fine. Like this is brighter here. I wouldn't say it's the same value here, so I'm not going to touch that. But it is here. Here's bright. And there comes along the ridge. Under here is good too. Start designing the nose. Even touches this a little bit, not too much. Here it goes, hard. 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 Again, all this is positive because I have something to work with. Like the more paint I have on here, especially with this application, of applying it like this, and then dry brushing it, the more paint I have on, the more I can do. It's kind of the best way I can explain it. The less paint I have on the canvas, the less I can do. And you want to be methodical and thoughtful. It's not just like splatter the paint everywhere and hope it works. No. No, man. We'll kind of make up this chin, whatever looks good or silly or both. Darker on this side. Just make it darker and see how that looks, if it needs more. And also usually the lines in the mouth are not black. They look black, but they're just like a dark brown, blue-green mixture. Like brown, green, blue. I like brown and blue. And then you can add some black in that too. I add black as well, but primarily green and blue. Sorry, brown and blue. Same with here. These look black, but they're just dark shade. They're dark values. That's it. the moment you put black right in there, you can throw things off. Even red, I'm adding red, blue, and brown, and then a little black. Start working with the eyes a little more. The eyes are really important to any painting, which goes without saying, but with somebody like Stallone, if you get the eyes right, you kind of got them. So that would be pretty important. And I don't mind being a little even obnoxious with his eyes because his eyes are very cartoonish. I'm aware of that. Oh my god. That's crazy. Just adding the pupils make things squirrely. I don't even know who that is anymore. The pupils changed everything, didn't they? Oh Lord. Doesn't. We lost them. We lost them. So these kind of tricks where I just put lines in here, again, will really only work with the dry brush and paint already on the like fresh paint from this session. There's no paint here, I believe, so really easy to move things around if you're gentle. So this eye. The eyes need some attention. Let's see what's going on there. Less is more. Less is more. I don't have a lot of paint on my brush at all. Put a little down and move that around. So let me figure out what's going on here. We can do it. There's a bunch of ways to kind of tighten this up. Take a break. What do you guys think? Good, good. Draw me next. Diddy. Boxer fellow. Lean, what's up? He's a goofy guy. Draw me next. Okay. Maybe. I know what I'll do is I will do this now. I will go here. I actually want to put a little energy into the hat for some reason. So I try to put down some lines. This is kind of easy because you can be pretty loosey-goosey. You see, you don't want hard lines everywhere, or you want to be a little impressionistic, but you just want to make the forms. Might be the wrong brush. Let me try another brush. I don't like the patterns. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, I think I like that. There's a little more control. So the other brush, I do want to be impressionistic, but not too random. I want texture, and I want definition, and I want you to believe that it's a hat. That's my job, that's it. As long as you believe it's a hat, kind of doesn't matter. And kind of feel free to grab two references. And sometimes when I make a mistake, or it's just not coming together, then a reference really is important. It's the truth is, like, the eyes are bothering me, but I need to like slow down and like figure it out like a puzzle. So the hat needs to get so I'm just taking a break by attacking the hat and getting it done, like getting a good kind of first attempt at it, get it lined up, so that I keep looking at the eyes, to be honest, because the hat is like, doesn't mean anything to me. The eyes, on the other hand, are really critical. So I'm trying to figure them out, and they are like a puzzle, because it's like one is one side, like you can get really wacky proportions really fast too. Meaning like one's bigger than the other, so it's like, it's a puzzle. Sometimes eyes come together really easy, and sometimes they really need a lot of work. So. Just want paint on here. Get some paint on here. I haven't really touched this yet. This shadow side. Back to it then. Okay. So I have enough defining marks in the tube. This is acrylic. You do not want to touch the oil with it. You just don't want things to flake or cause you headache. It's in your best interest not to cross the streams. I think if I described why I do things like that, every time I describe it, it would be a different explanation. This time, my explanation, again, I just need a break from those eyes. I need the paint that I've applied to like at least get a little stiffer, a little more tacky. I want this piece to look full, like two worlds colliding. It's messy. But again, I just do stuff like that to, I could even lie to you and say it's composition and stuff like that, but it's more just, okay, I need a second to think about this, these eyes. The whites are never white. This is like a gray, but it looks brighter than it is. I'm going to jump the gun, but I just want to see here if we can kind of unify things here. jump the gun, I'm just putting some highlights in there to kind of calm things down, because I told you earlier, you saw it when I added the pupils, it really warped how he looked. The pupils made like a wild difference, like shocking. Even I was not expecting that. And because the photo I'm using is blurry, you have to play around with it a little bit because you're not really sure what you're getting. And I'm not really trying to actually copy the photo verbatim or like exact. I want it to look like, sometimes I want it to look like Rocky more than the photo looks like Rocky. And I can only explain that by just doing it. There is a lot of puzzle solving and painting. Simple math. Adding, subtracting, adding, subtracting. I'll probably say that till the day I die, because that seems to be my most common thing to tell you guys, is adding and subtracting. I like that little quick I like how this works. See, in the image it's all blurry here. There's no defining lines in my reference photo. That's okay. Kind of make it up as you go along, and if it's not right, fix it up. Yeah. You're toning down with the harsh lines, but you're also forming too. So not only are you toning down things right now with the dry brush, you're forming it. Like I'm just pull that eye out a little bit wider, the iris. So you're diffusing, calming things down, but also forming all at the same time. So it looks like here is a little bit. don't get flustered and like freak out. Just keep picking away at it. And the more you do that, from the next painting to the next painting to the next painting, you'll gain more confidence when you run into a problem that needs solving. And you'll also have more like patience for yourself too. You're like, oh no, I know I'll get to that, and you know what you can and cannot do. That's really important. So it's like bluey, green, kind of darker here. Like I said, bluey green is like this brown. You want some darker values to bring it, it adds depth and makes it more dramatic, gives more life to it if possible. Not everything has these dark shadows, but if they're there, you take advantage. You also don't overdo it. That's why you just put a little on and move it around with your dry brush. I find that this needs to be a little darker here, a little darker here. I'm going to go pretty harsh there. Just patting it, all the power, like just gently. It's not wet. It's obviously not dry either, but it's just getting some of that dimension in there, the depth. now let's go back to mix. So now we're going to go to like a mid value. Last time I went darker in the hat, now we'll go in the middle, or somewhere thereabouts. Kind of decide. See how this looks? This might even still be in the darker side, so it might have one more value before like highlights. So that means like there's there's like 5 different colors if you count the base, which is what I've applied on now. This is a good color for defining things. It's still on the darker side, but not too much because I'm not in love with it. So but any loose edges you can clean up pretty good too with it. Yeah, I don't love that. So let's go a little bit. Let's see what happens when we go a little brighter. Maybe this is the middle of the road. I think so. You want the hat to be like made of wool, right? So I'm just imagining what wool looks like based on living on this planet. It's not. But I like this color. Again, not everything has to get touched. And not everything has to be, this is impressionistic at its finest because you don't have to make it look accurate, but it has to look good. Like if the lines don't align perfectly, who cares? I don't want to get bogged down in a hat, but I do want it to look good. It's a weird combination. I don't care, but I care. And you don't want to lose like kind of the work you've done already, especially even with the abstract stuff. And some of the stuff you want to keep. The history of the painting. This painting has a history. The chaos mixed with the discovery and the journey that I went on to get here. Tidy this up by making it messier. Kind of got like threads. You don't want to get caught up in like silly threads thinking like just a couple. Just add a little more white into my red and black. Kind of purple. And now I'm going a little more delicate. Still very applied very abstractly. We're going to stick to one area first. If you don't like it, you can kind of blend these together. So there's no risk. If I'm like, oh, that looks stupid. Really quick fix. But what I've learned is like, it's okay to just add more details. These are little details, right? You can play with them later. Just putting on some things now. But yeah, you see, you don't want straight lines. You just want these, just dabbing it. Let's calm down these first marks that have the most paint on it. Calm them down. Again, try to keep what you've created. You don't want to, no need to destroy everything. Very light touching right now. I don't want too much paint on here. That's enough for now, I guess. I've moved on pretty fast. I just saw something a little bit. His lips are pretty bright here. This area is more of a puzzle than normal, I think, because the image I'm using is really blurry, the reference. Or maybe just simply just needs a little more time on it. It seems like not quite coming together yet. You see, in the reference image, there's no like this defining lines, so I'm kind of make them up as I go along. Same with here, there's no it's just blurry. So everything is very soft. And again, like the images indicating like these bottom eyelids are very they're very blurry. Because no one has bottom eyelids that are that big, clearly. But in that reference image, it looks like he does. I can post it later or show you later, but so I'm just gonna work backwards a little. Just, again, diffusing everything, right? Softening everything. I can work in the tighter lines later. Soften everything. Soften everything soft, gentle. Holding a baby bird. Got a lot of paint on the canvas now too, so there's a lot to work with. I just felt it. I just felt the paint that I'm working. That's a nice feeling. Takes a while to get there though, right? How long have we been streaming? Over an hour. It's a self-portrait, yes. Soft. Whoa. Clean off your brush. Go back. Soften everything and form it. Soften and form. The eyes are actually very blurry, so the softer you get them, I think the better off I'll be with that. The more success I'll have. If I try to define them too much, I think I lose. Okay, I'm not gonna. I'll come out in a better spot if they are more soft. Same with earlier, I'm only kind of just picking up on this now, but when I was fiddling around with this, really didn't like what I did, so I just softened everything. I didn't like, oh, I gotta fix it. No, just soften it. Soften them out. I thought I could change this thing that looked wrong, and it probably is, but when you soften it, it's very, now you give yourself a lot of forgiveness. A lot of room, and then you can still tweak it. Careful with that. There's a lot of paint, so let's change my dry brush. Something else. Soften here. There might be a defining line in there, but all around it is very soft. And I think you'll really enjoy the process of painting like that. With putting a little bit of paint like this on the canvas and coming in with your dry brush and just touching it around. Don't always paint like this, but when I do, it's very enjoyable. And it doesn't take a lot to shift the world, change everything. And it doesn't take a lot to fix it. His mouth is very iconic too, right? He has a very distinguished mouth. Kind of spotted a mile away. Same with his eyes, obviously. Clearly. But I think that's back to like why I say you really enjoy this, because it's so easy to course correct and fiddle. If you like fiddling, this brush and then wet brush, dry brush. And when I mean wet, it's not, I'm not soaking this in mineral spirits or turpentine. Just mix a little paint, let it marinate on your tray. And here's the thing, like I think this is too red, but we're going for it. Let's see that just a little mark, move it around. There's a little red there, move it around. That's actually not red enough, I think. Same with you. This looks a little orangey, like sunshine, golden hour. Golden kind of skin. So add a little peach, which is like orangey yellow. And kind of the more colors you can get in that are in the same universe, the better off you'll be. You gotta clean your dry brushes too, they start getting caked. I'm actually grabbing a different brush because I really want to work here. And it needs kind of a little bit more aggressive. Probably can get to accomplish what I'm doing in a couple different ways, but I also really like this brush too. It's just time to switch it up to see if I can make some headway here. And it's fun knowing over time what your brushes do, what each brush will help you accomplish. And no one can kind of really teach you that. You just have to learn that on your own. You can get guidance on it, but you just don't know what's going to happen until you do it a few times, 1,000 times, 100,000 times. All right, I'll post the finished video later today. Let me see. Good to see everyone. I'm out. Bye-bye. What the?